I graduated nursing school with a 3.84 grade point average, and I did not get into one of the programs that I applied to. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Standria, and I love making videos about nursing, lifestyle, and beauty. So if you're interested, then keep on watching. In today's video, we're going to talk about whether or not your GPA is high enough for CRNA school. And before we start this video, I just want to make a public service announcement. I'm just a student registered nurse anesthetist. I'm in my first semester. I am not an expert. I'm not a professor. So everything that I say is just my recommendations based on my experience, based on my journey, and based on my research. So there you go. It's out there. And also, if you're planning on attending CRNA school, my number one recommendation before we even get this video started is to contact the school of your choice, message their dean of their program, and see what their recommendations are for you. So now that that's out of the way, let me say this. I graduated nursing school with a 3.84 grade point average, and I did not get into one of the programs that I applied to. I said that to say grade point average is not everything. Grade point average is not everything. You can have a 3.0 grade point average, and you can have a 4.0 grade average. None of those grade point averages guarantee you acceptance into a program. When applying to CRNA school, you need to know that there are two different types of grade point averages. There is an overall grade point average, meaning what it said, overall, the GPA you obtain from general studies all the way throughout your nursing program, and then there is a science grade point average. The science grade point average usually includes classes, for example, chemistry, A&P1, A&P2, microbiology, biology if you took that class. And so those are the classes that they're looking at. If you received a C or below in any science class, my recommendation is to go ahead and retake those courses, because those classes are very important. I'm in my first semester right now taking pharmacology, and I can tell you, if you do not have a strong chemistry background, it's gonna be hard. And I received a B in chemistry, and it's extremely hard for me right now, trying to learn and decipher this information. So if you did not obtain a B or above, a B or A, go ahead and retake those science courses. I feel like it lets the professor know that you are motivated, you are dedicated, and you're willing to put in the work to show them that, hey, I'm matured and I'm ready to put in the work to be able to basically succeed through your program. The average GPA for students who get accepted into CRNA program, based on my research, is a 3.4 to a 4.0. If you are below the 3.4 grade point average, I'm going to go through some recommendations that is going to help you strengthen your application. And this doesn't just go for students with a 3.4 and below. It pretty much goes for everyone, because like I told you, I had a 3.84 grade point average and I did not get accepted into one of my programs. So my number one recommendation throughout this entire journey to your CRNA program, do not compare your stats to anyone. I'm going to keep repeating this in the video so it can get in y'all's head. I had a 3.84 grade point average and I did not get accepted into a program. So based on my YouTube algorithm, my most watched video was my CRNA stats, and everyone wants to know, what's your stats, what's your stats, what's your stats? I may get into a program with my stats, and you may have the exact same stats and may not get into that program. So number one, do not compare your stats to anyone. My tip number two, if you have a low grade point average, to boost your application, try to get as much ICU experience as possible. With experience comes wisdom, and it just shows the board, the admission board, that you're dedicated, that you're experienced, that you're wise. And with a low grade point average, however, with a lot of experience, they may, you know, give you a little bit more leeway and feel more comfortable accepting you into the program. My tip number 3, when it comes to having a low grade point average and trying to get accepted, you need some bomb ass letters of recommendation, okay? You need to make sure that you have a really good relationship with the nurses on your unit. You need to pretty much, what's the word I'm looking for? Jump on any leadership opportunities there are. You need to have a good relationship with your manager, because you are going to need them to write you a letter of recommendation. And my manager refused to write me a letter of recommendation, but I'm telling y'all, you need a bomb ass letter of recommendations. Make sure you build great relationships with CRNAs. Try to shadow them when you do have shadow experience. Make sure you show up early. Make sure you're respectful. Make sure you ask questions and act like you're interested. And so all of those things together, if you do what I'm saying, you will get some bomb ass recommendations. If you could get the head of the anesthesiology department, go ahead and get them. Hell, if you could get the president of the United States to write you a letter of recommendation, do that. This is the time to name drop. Another thing you want to make sure you have is a great resume and a great personal statement. The resume pretty much talks about your experience, your leadership opportunities, your community service. So you need a really good resume and a really good personal statement. The grammar needs to be correct. The vocabulary needs to be good. So I'm gonna put a link down below to a CRNA now. Her name is Nurse Nell, or I think it's Charnel. She actually has her own business where she reviews personal statements and resumes. So I will drop a link down below so that you guys can go ahead and check it out. How you guys feel about, you know, paying to get your resume reviewed or personal statements, but the number one thing that someone told me is your greatest investment is yourself and your future. So even if it takes $200 to get this personal statement reviewed, I don't know, I just believe in investing in yourself and investing in your future. My next tip, in order to be accepted into the program or boost your chance of acceptance, obtain the CCRN. A lot of programs said it is optional. My program said that it was optional. However, anything that's optional, I would make sure I go ahead and get it done. Especially if you know you have a lower grade point average, this will boost your chance, and this will actually make you stand out from the persons who don't have the CCRN. And I didn't have the CCRN. I had a TNCC, which is a Trauma Nursing Corps certification. I do not recommend obtaining it. I think that was one of the reasons why I didn't get into the program, the other program that I applied to, because when I talked to all of the applicants there, almost everyone had their CCRN. And almost everyone had a high grade point average. So you need to make sure you are the complete and total package when you apply to these programs. Go ahead, get to work, don't lose hope. If you fail one time, try and try again. As I say always in every video, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. If you have any questions, drop it down below. If you are currently applying to a CRNA program, just drop down below what state you're in. That way we can get some conversations going in the chat box down there. And I will see you guys in another video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I love.